Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Dragunity Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for March 2020. Wanted to do an update to the Dragunity deck. Big thanks to my buddy Anthony for letting me borrow all of his Dragunity support for the deck profile. It's a really fun deck. I really used to play this deck a lot back in the day. The different combos you could do with the Synchro monsters and overall all the different Dragunity monsters definitely helped with the overall support for the deck. And recently, I think it was a couple sets back, we did receive some very good Dragunity support, including a Link monster, which just helps the overall playstyle of the deck. So I figured an update to the deck profile was due just for all the newer, up-to-date support we have for just generic plays you can do with the deck in total. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the monsters, I run 3 Dragunity decks. For those of you that don't know, the purpose of the Dragunity deck is to set up your Wing Beast monsters with dragons equipped to them, and then special summon those cards to go for other different synchro plays, and then use those synchro plays to further expand all the different effects with all the different Dragunity synchro monsters we run in the deck. So with Dragunity Ducks, it gains 200 attack for each Dragunity card you control. When this card is normal summon, you can target one level 3 or lower Dragon Dragunity monster in your graveyard, equip that target to this card. So you have plenty of other Dragunity monsters, including Phalanx and also Kaus, that you can special summon after equipping it onto Ducks, and then you can go for your synchro plays from there. So Ducks just helps for the setup. You just want to make sure you have your other Dragunity Dragon monsters in the graveyard to go off of as well, but with a bunch of different cards in the deck like Dragon's Ravine, it's very easy to set those cards up also. And I also run 3 Dragunity Arma Mistletoe. With this one, you can special summon this card from your hand by sending one face-up Dragunity monster you control to the graveyard. And when this card is normal or special summon from the hand, you can select one Dragon-type Dragunity monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card. So just another easy way to set up one of your other Dragunity Dragon monsters, special summoning this card as well, and then going from there with the play, giving you the strength you need and the field presence to summon out some other monsters in the deck, including your Link monster, which is Dragunity Knight Romulus. So having Mistletoe and a bunch of your other Dragunity monsters for the setup just makes for an easy special summon with this card. So you definitely need 3 of this, and like I said, 3 Ducks as well. Just overall very good consistency for your different plays in the deck. And I also want to run 3 Dragunity Sonatus, but with this one, I have 1 Militum in here. If you don't have the Sonatus, it's just a good fit for a replacement, being an easy special summon of some of your other Dragunity Dragon monsters in the deck. But with Sonatus, you can discard 1 Dragunity card to equip 1 Dragunity Dragon Tuner from your deck to this card, while you cannot special summon monsters from the extract for the rest of this turn except Dragon monsters. You can only use this effect of Dragunity Sonatus once per turn. If a Dragunity card you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy 1 Dragunity card equipped to this card instead. But moreover, with this card, it's just more setup. It's one of the newer ones we received from the Cybernetic Horizon booster pack that just helps for getting more of your cards set up on the field to use also. So with this one, you can rely on that special summon to go into your other different cards. But also, if, like I said, I'm trying out the 1 Militum just for another additional special summon option, but Sonatus most of the time helps with the overall plays you can do, being the fact that you can equip it from your deck, which just helps to get the dragons set up in your graveyard as well for your other different plays to go with. And for the Dragunity Dragon Tuners, probably one of the best ones in the deck is Dragunity Kaus. It cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Dragunity monster. This card on the field can be used and treated as a level 4 when used for the synchro summon. If this card is currently equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. So the bigger plays you usually go for are your Dragunity Knight Ascalon, which is a level 10, needing 1 Dragunity Tuner and 1 or more non-tuner Dragunity monsters, but with Kaus being a level 4 option, and then also just having the other monsters to go into for the play. Since it only needs the Dragunity play, it doesn't need the Wing Beast play for that one. You can even use your Mistletoe on the field with the level 4 Kaus set up to go for that card, and then we'll go over that card more when we get to the extra deck. But just another easy special summon, including your Dragunity Phalanx, which I also run 3 of, just being an easy special summon once per turn. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. So even if you equip it again with other effects, you can still special summon Phalanx onto the field. It's not a once per turn effect that limits you, but just another easy way to special summon and get resources, and you're not limited with the synchro plays like you are with Dragunity Kaus, like you are with Dragunity Phalanx, so you have those plays to go for as well. And lastly, for the Dragunity, I just like to run the one Dragunity Achilles with this one. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one Dragunity monster from your hand, and then equip it with this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to a Dragunity, you can select one card on the field and destroy it. So just more options with your Dragunity pop effects using this one. I definitely do think it's useful for the overall plays you can do, and just giving you more field presence from your hand as well when you summon it out, being able to summon another one from your hand onto the field and then equip it onto that card. Just very, very useful, especially with the protection effect you have with the Tsundere when you use that effect. And then for some of the more generic dragon support, I do run 2 Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisson, just an easy way to get out a tuner onto the field and then have other synchro plays by setting it up in your graveyard as well, back onto the field. It's also a Dragon Ravine target to send to the graveyard if you just need the overall synchro play to go into as well. I like to run 2 of it so I can also see this card more during the different plays in the deck and then rely on it from there. And I also run 1 Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms and 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. With these 2, just more special summon and more resources since the Dragunities are all wind. It's very, very easy to summon out Tempest Dragon Ruler of Storms onto the field, and then that much easier to special summon a bunch of other different monsters using Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon with the deck as well. And to finish off the monsters, I'm also running 3 Ash Blossom. This is just a hand trap spot, which is optional for the player. If you didn't want to run the Ash Blossom spot, you can also try out Garuda, which is the wind monster that easily special summons by banishing another. And then 1 Zephyros, which works with the face-up cards you do in the deck. And then the last spot can either be the additional Tsundere while keeping the 1 Militum in the deck, or you can even try 2 Garuda and the 1 basically Zephyros in the deck, or you can even go for a 3rd Destrudo and then 1 of your Zephyros and 1 of the Garuda. That is just optional for all these different spots for the Ash Blossom play, depending on if you didn't want to go the hand trap route and just have more of these special summon options with all the other different Wing Beast monsters in the deck also. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 Dragunity. That's called, if it had Dragunity Ravine in the name, it'd be that much more crazy. But 3 Dragon Ravine. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card, then activate one of these effects. You can add 1 level 4 or lower Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand, or you can send 1 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. So the send dragon effect or the search for your Dragunity monster, both great setup, especially since you can discard one of the Dragunity dragons from your hand and then search out one of the other Dragunity Wing Beast monsters to summon out and special summon it by equipping it onto this card and setting up your synchro play. Plus, I also run the 1 Terraforming, so you have the easy search for your field spell. I didn't want to run any traps in the deck, just very, very useful going 1st or 2nd when you can go for all of your plays in this deck and not have to rely on any back row, just because you can make some pretty big synchro plays with this deck and field board as well, and it just gets all that stronger with Master Rule 5, having more available free spots in your main monster zone for your synchro monsters you want to make. And I also run 3 Dragunity Divine Lance. Equip only to a Dragunity monster. It gains attack equal to its level times 100. Also, it's unaffected by trap effects. During your main phase, you can equip 1 Dragon-type Dragunity tuner monster from your deck to the monster equipped with this card. You can only use this effect of Divine Lance once per turn. The power boost definitely does help with some of your other Dragunity monsters, but the fact that you can make it unaffected by trap effects makes it all that much more stronger. And then just the equip effect is just an added bonus with this card. So you definitely want to run 3 of this for that setup. It definitely does come in handy overall when you equip it on and then going in to attack your opponent, depending on what kind of back row they're running also. And I also run 2 cards of consonants with all the different tuners we run. You discard 1 Dragon-type tuner with 1,000 or less attack to draw 2 cards. With Chaos, Phalanx, and also Achilles, you name it, you have all the discard power with this card to draw 2 cards, setting them up in the graveyard as well, and giving you more resources. So 2 of this definitely does help just going into the draw power early game also. I also run 2 World Legacy Guard Dragon, just another easy special summon, and also an option to move around the synchro monsters if you end up having to summon one, let's say, in the extra monster zone. That won't be as needed as much with Master Rule 5, but still pretty useful at the moment because of the fact that you'll have the different dragons to special summon out, just giving you that additional resource on the field also. And for some of the one-ofs for the spells, I run 1 Pot of Avarice. You can quickly go through your resources. So just, when you banish them for, let's say, Darkness Metal or Tempest, some of the other ones you may want to shuffle back for draw power. Pot of Avarice definitely does help. 1 Foolish Burial to set up your dragon monsters in the graveyards when you have your other Dragunities. It also definitely does come in handy. And 1 Monster Reborn for more of the special summon options if you short 1 monster for one of your play. Monster Reborn for the Synchro or Link play definitely does come in handy. And to finish off these spells, I do run the 3 Call by the Grave, just the Dragon Ravine. It can definitely be stopped a lot by your opponent's hand traps, and you need that dragon setup for your plays. So 3 Call by the Grave just helps to stop that hand trap from resolving. And moving on now to the extra deck. Like I said, I don't run too many or any of the trap cards because I just feel the overall deck works very, very well with the spell and monster lineup, depending on if you go first or second, just to get your board set up. But for the synchros, I run 2 Dragunity Knight Vajrayana. With this one, when this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Dragunity Dragon monster in your graveyard, equip it to that target, to this card, and once per turn, you can send 1 equipped card to the graveyard, double this card's attack until the end of this turn. So if you have the equip spell, equip with this afterwards, just an overall more power play, but you can also use the equip to go with Dragunity Phalanx and then go for the level 8 synchro using these 2 cards to go into Borreload Savage Dragon if you have the Link monster set up in the graveyard. All the more bonus with this deck. I don't like to run 2 of the Vajrayanas though, since you can recycle it now into the deck, and it's more for that setup and you have other cards to go into for more of your other plays. One of them being Dragunity Knight Ascalon. Talked about this card before. You can banish 1 Dragunity monster in your graveyard, target 1 monster your opponent controls, banish it, and if this synchro summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Dragunity synchro monster with 3,000 or less attack from your extra deck. This card is treated as a synchro summon, and you can use this effect once per turn. The banish effect for destruction, definitely useful since it's not once per turn, but the special summon of another Dragunity just keeps this resource alive, and the fact that you'll be able to use this even better with Master Rule 5 definitely does help for the special summon, depending on where you want to summon it out onto the field also. And then for some of the one-ofs, I run 1 Dragunity Knight Trident. Once per turn, you can send up to 3 cards you control to the graveyard to look at your opponent's extra deck and send any equal number of cards there to the graveyard. Trident just helps to get rid of resources. It's why I like to run it with that level 7 option. And then also just great for the fact that it needs a Dragon-type tuner and 1 or more non-tuner Winged Beast-type monsters. So if you set up Destrudo with this card and then have another Winged Beast monster on the field for that level 7 play, it really does help. And then just another easy 1-card way to get this card onto the field. 1 Dragunity Knight Barcha, 1 of your level 8 Dragunity monsters. When this card is synchro summon, you can select any number of dragon type Dragunity monsters. This card gains 300 attack for each Dragunity card equipped to this card. Just more power boost, especially with the spell card as well. And also 1 Luin for the power boost level 6 plays, and 1 Gator for the setup of adding and sending monsters from your deck to your hand and then to the graveyard. And then for the other generic synchros, I run the 1 Borreload Savage with your Link monsters. It definitely does help. Same with the Black Rose Dragon if you need the options to destroy your opponent's field. And for the Link monsters, I run the 2 Dragunity Knight Romulus. If this card is Link Summon, you can add 1 Dragunity spell or trap or 1 Dragon Ravine from your deck to your hand. So more search with this card also. And then also, when the card is special summoned from the extra deck to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can special summon 1 Dragon or Wing Beast monster from your hand in defense. But for the rest of this turn, its effects are negated, and it cannot be used as a Link monster material. And you can only use each effect of Dragunity Knight Romulus once per turn. But this card is the setup for the deck. It definitely is just for the special summon and for the add of your different Dragunity spell or traps or the Dragon Ravines also. And I also run 1 Wind the Wind Charmer Verdant. This could be Great Fly. It's just optional depending if you want the power plays or just more of the setup for your wind monsters. 1 Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, just for the dragon plays you can do with it also. And 1 Saryuja for the draw power to get into some of the more important cards you need for the deck also. But for some of the better setup, like I said, just going for the old school, one of my favorite plays is just the setup you can do with the Dragon Ravine on the play. Being able to activate your Dragon Ravine, sending 1 of your Dragon Dragunity monsters to the graveyard, and then adding 1 of your Wing Beast monsters, most of the time Dragunity Ducks. For this old school play, you activate the Dragon Ravine. After sending this to search it, you summon Dragunity Ducks, special summon Phalanx from the graveyard, special summon it off of its own effect, go for the level 6 Synchro, which most of the time will be into Vajrayana, using Vajrayana to special summon Phalanx with its own effect, special summoning it once more since it's not a once per turn, just once while it's on the field, and then being able to Synchro for another level 8 option. Depending on if you already went for the Link play or what you want to go for, you have the option to go into Borreload Savage Dragon or even go into Dragunity Knight Barcha. If you go for the other route of plays, you can even set up, instead of using Dragunity Knight Phalanx, but you can still use Dragunity Ducks. If you send off of the Dragon Ravine your Dragunity Kaus, which can be counted as a level 4 monster for a Synchro Summon, summoning Dragunity Ducks gives you that option to go into the Vajrayana play, just like before, setting up the Kaus this time around for a level 10 synchro play, going for the bigger boss monster on the field, which is Dragunity Knight Ascalon. So you'll have all this set up just from the Dragunity Ravine. I keep saying Dragunity Ravine, it's Dragon Ravine, and then just having the one card in your hand to go off of the play for the bigger synchro monster. It's definitely a lot of fun once you completely learn all the different synchro plays, and then also being able to go off of the different link effects with Romulus and other cards like Destrudo in the deck also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.